YouTube, what's good? What's good with y'all? How you doing, YouTube? Yo, first of all, it's freezing. It's cold. I mean, we got a freeze warning earlier today. So a freeze warning coming across the screen. So, I'm gonna have the comforter. I'm gonna have, thank God I have a place to stay, a place to live, a place with heat. Praying for all of those that don't have that, But it's cold. It could be worse. Other places are getting 3 feet of snow. So, man, I guess it is that time of year though. Like if it was 80 degrees right now, probably be concerned, right? But YouTube, what's good? What's good? Turn down this radio here. Don't want to get copyrighted, Right now, Johnny Gill's My is playing. And nope, no YouTube, nope. I'm not gonna sing a couple notes, even though y'all probably want me to. I'm not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. But dope song. Anyway, welcome to another episode of Damon's Days. Definitely glad to see you all. And if you saw my depressing video, my last one, which will probably be linked in this video, thank you for number one, thank you for watching. Number two, I apologize for that. I was definitely in a low space, right? Let me turn down the heat now. In a low space, just not feeling it, not feeling good, not, was really giving in to things that were going on around me, not taking my own advice, not taking the advice of what I've given you over the past few videos, the different things to help us when we get in such moods. And so I apologize, guys. I think it's cool to be transparent, but you also don't want to bring down the mood of others, right? So just to update on the scam likely, like we get on our cell phones now. I'm still doing some research, some due diligence, some looking around. A lot more information is coming out about it. So I am not prepared to fully give the story right now, but I promise you I will. Hold on one second. Getting a little... Okay, there we go. I'm not prepared to give the entire story yet, but I promise you I will. But in regards to that, I have decided to forgive myself for being scammed. I know that may sound weird, but these past few days, for most of this week, I was really beating myself over it. Can't talk. I was really beating myself up over it. Like, how could you let this happen? How could you, ignore your gut? Why didn't you go with your gut? Why didn't you ask more questions? All these things, right? Just really just doing this and beating myself up over something that I cannot change right now. I took it, it happened. I have to chalk it up to an expensive lesson, right? I mean, if there's any chance to recoup the money, then fine. But if not, whatever. I just have to, just like I said, just take it as a lesson and move on from there. But I've decided to forgive myself, right? I'm not perfect. I'm not someone that gets it right all the time. I make mistakes. So, having said that, I'm like, you know what? I need to let it go. Whatever comes of it, right? If refund happen, if there's a lawsuit, whatever, then fine. If not, then that's fine also. And the second, or the moment that I decided to forgive myself, I started feeling a whole lot better. I really started to just be able to breathe, just being able to release that, just being able to say, hey, it happens. Definitely, it might not even be the last time it happens. You know, something could seem so legit, and then it turns out that it wasn't. You know what I mean? Even the best of us gets fooled, right? So I've decided to forgive myself, move on, and just continue on with life and not dwell on it. You know, initially, right in the moment, of course, there was some like, oh my gosh, some shock and some whatever. But what wasn't needed was for me to constantly think about it and to beat myself up over it. That part wasn't needed. And honestly, yesterday was kind of a rough day emotionally as well. Like I was completely off. Things weren't going too right at work. Couldn't figure out this issue and this and that and all these other things happened, and I found myself just getting emotional, like emotional, you know. And I realized, I was just like, you know, this emotion is displaced, or this emotion is the result of me not really talking about it, or me not really just telling myself what I'm telling you now. Hey, it happened. Can't go back in time. Let it go. Forgive yourself. It happened. It's okay. You're good. You're not stupid. You're not whatever else, whatever other negative things I had to say about myself. So it was a rough day yesterday too, admittedly. And you know, today I just decided, like, okay, let's put that in the past. Let's go. Let's move forward. And honestly, it's been a much better day. Way better day. Like nothing really bothered me today. Like, you know, different things, the same normal things, the same normal stuff that happens day by day on the train, and you know, during my commute, and it didn't faze me. The same stuff coming home or whatever, and it didn't faze me. It's work, everything. I just, you know, and it made me realize that, you know, we can have all the tools in our arsenal. We can have, even you can talk to someone that has the right things to say. Like, you ever talk to someone and when you talk to them, it's like, man, how do you how do you know all this? Or how do you constantly know what to say? You know, you ever been around someone like that? And that's cool. But it always comes down to you. It always comes down to me personally, meaning making that decision to stop the, you know, the destructive thinking or the destructive behavior, right? Everything in our life is a decision. Everything, right? When it comes to following God, that's a decision, right? Everything that comes with following God, reading, praying, and doing what, you know, the Bible says and all that stuff, all of that is a decision. Everything. The only thing that we do not decide is if we're going to wake up tomorrow. That's the only thing we don't decide, with a lot of other things. But stay with me here. We don't decide if we're going to wake up tomorrow. I know a lot of times we say, yeah, when I wake up tomorrow, I'm going to do this. The decision is not ours. We just wake up. God wakes us up, right? We get up and we're like, oh, okay. And then from then on, when we get up, right, when God wakes us up, everything from that moment forward is a decision. I may decide to hit the snooze button. I may decide to, you know, get up in that moment. I decide to go take a shower. I decide to eat something. I decide what clothes I'm going to wear. I decide what route I'm going to take. I decide, you know, everything, right? Now, there are extenuating factors, you know, different things happen. But even with those factors, when something happens, when something's thrown at you, you decide how you're going to react. You decide how you're going to face it. Correct? Like, there's a lot of things happening. And again, I don't mean to say that, you know, sometimes we have that initial reaction, which is fine. We have that initial reaction to things, like something that surprises us, like, oh my goodness, right? And we have just, you know, that split second, like, whoa, you know? But then when we are able to assess what happened, when we're able to think, all right, this happened, that's where the decisions come in. That's where we decide, all right, how am I going to handle this? Am I going to crumble? Am I going to fight back? Am I going to not say anything? Whatever the situation is, there's so many, whatever it is, the decision always lies with us. So I want to encourage y'all to make good decisions, right? Whatever's going on in your life at the moment, and I don't know, right? I obviously don't know, but whatever's going on, make good decisions, right? Next week is Thanksgiving, and earlier in this week I talked about it's hot now. Hold on one second. Earlier this week I talked about, you know, protecting your peace and how you will be with extended family that come around, because some of us have, you know, challenging family members, or maybe you are that challenging family member, right? Just make good decisions with your family this week, next week. You know, decide that, you know, you're not going to sweat the small stuff. You alone know what the small stuff is in your situation. Decide that you're going to love your family. You know, decide that you're going to respect your family. Decide that you will make your time with family memorable this year, this holiday season. Let's make good decisions when it comes to that. Life is short. Life is fleeting. Life is fragile. Life is but a mist, right? Like, if you get a spray bottle and you spray it and that mist that comes out, that's life. And we don't want to spend however long we have, you know, not making decisions that help our lives to be what it needs to be, or where our lives can be. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Please leave down in the comments if it did or not, and I will engage you in the comments. But decisions, and it made me realize, like, I have a choice here. I have a choice. Do I keep dwelling on about this? Do I go deeper down in that rabbit hole of despair and self-pity and whatever? Or do I just chalk it up to say, hey, it happened, fine, moving on? It was a choice I had to make, and when I made it, I felt a ton better. I felt so much better than I did than the last time I spoke to you. So I hope this helps you. With all the other suggestions and advice and different things that I put out on this channel, you know, all those things are choices too. All those things are decisions to make as well. Like, you can have your gratitude list, you can read it, but even after you read it, you still have a decision to make whether you're going to allow that to change your mood, or allow yourself to feel gratitude. Because I tell you what, I told you that I would go read my gratitude list. I read it and it didn't help. So it felt so weird to say this, but I read it and it didn't help because I decided that in that moment I didn't want it to help. I wanted to continue to feel down. I wanted to continue to feel bad. I wanted to continue to feel self-pity. I wanted to continue to feel terrible. And that, it's not good. And that's something that I've been used to doing for, a very, very, very long time. Very long time. So I want to be able to have the strength to make proper decisions, no matter how much I want to wallow in whatever it is that's going on in my life, whatever I don't like that's going on in my life. You understand? So that's one of the another something that I'm praying about. I pray to God to help me to make great decisions when it comes to my emotions. Not that I will physically do something or react in a way, but just the thinking part of it. Because if I dwell on it enough, who knows, sometimes when you allow yourself to be there for too long, then thinking about something is not enough. Then you get into like destructive behavior. I do not want to get close to that point. So that I'm praying for that. God, give me the strength to make great decisions when it comes to my emotional health, when it comes to my emotional stability. Help me to assess the situation, and then whatever is needed to think accordingly, right? And I love that scripture because it really, when you think about God and you think about heaven, and you go in and you read about what heaven is like, and being with God, how then that should change your mood, right? But again, it's a choice. It's a decision. You decide whether you're going to allow that to change your mood. Sometimes I read and decide, okay, great. Sometimes I pray and I'm just like, the second after I'm done praying, I'm like, yeah, that was nice, but whatever. I'm still dealing with this. Everything's a choice, guys. Everything is a choice. Everything is a choice. So I just want to encourage you from, starting from now, what choices can you make regarding situations in your life? What choices can you make regarding your emotions? Are you holding on to something that there is no opportunity for it to change, right? Like something that you did in the past, or something that happened to you in the past that there's no way that it can change now. Like, there's just no possible way, because we can't go back in time. We don't have a time machine. What choice are you going to make? Are you going to keep dwelling on it? Is it something that brings you down? Or is it something that makes you angry? Excuse me. Make the choice to fight that, or to think different. Or do you need to forgive yourself for something? Because if you are a believer in God, and you've studied the Bible, and you've been baptized and whatever, you've been forgiven already. You've been forgiven of your sins. But sometimes we don't even forgive ourselves, and that just clouds our memory up, and it just keeps it, keeps us in that same rut, in that same, whatever, if we're not doing well, and it just keeps us there, and we feel stuck, So I forgive myself. I forgive myself for wasting that money. I forgive myself for not acting on my gut or not listening to my gut with it. So there's nothing I can do now. So moving on, right? So, and speaking of choices, I left you with a choice in the last video of our Would You Rather segment. And the question was, would you rather go back and meet your ancestors, or go forward in the future and meet your great relatives? You know, whether that's great grandkids, great aunts, nieces, whatever. Meet your great relatives. So please put down in the comments what you chose. For me, I think I would like to go back and meet my ancestors. I would like to, you know exactly where I came from, right? I would like to, I would have a ton of questions. Just, I would like to do that. I would just like to meet my great ancestors. Was there anybody in my family that, that brought about change? Or is there anybody in my family that, I don't know. You never know, right? And I think in a lot of ways, something like that would be very, very inspiring to me. So that's what I would choose. I would choose going back and meeting my ancestors. What would you choose? What would you choose? Would you go back and meet your ancestors, or would you go forward and meet your great grand relatives, family? So let me know down in the comments. Again, thank you so much, guys, for watching, and for those that are liking the video, for those that are commenting, I appreciate it. For those that subscribed, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. I'm grateful. I thank you so much. And I want to encourage you all to have a great weekend. Next week, there'll probably only be one video, because it's a Thanksgiving weekend, and it'll be a lot of family in town, so I doubt I'll get the the chance to really record. But God willing, there will be one video next week, and yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll see. Maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see how it goes. But thank you so much. If I don't get to talk to you again next week, again, I'm striving to have one day to talk to you. But if I don't, have a great Thanksgiving. Enjoy it with your family. Enjoy it with your friends. Let's make some good choices, some good decisions. Let's love our family. Remember your gratitude list. Please look over it often. Even share it with family if you want. That would be something good to do. Hey, I wrote this, and guess what? You're here. You're whatever. It's no particular order, but here you are. I'm grateful for you. Tell somebody. Reach out to somebody. Let them know you're grateful for them, and tell them why. If there's any homework that I was gonna leave you with no homework, but let's give you some homework. Reach out to someone. Maybe they're on your list, maybe they're not, or whatever, or whoever you're thinking of right at this second. Reach out to them and say, hey, I'm grateful for you, and here's why. And do that, and see how it goes, and let me know in the comments how it goes. And I hope that encourages them as well as you. All right. So guys, have a great weekend. Damon's Days. Please like, comment, and sub if you want. Thank you so much for everything again. I really greatly appreciate you all. And have a great weekend. Stay warm if you're in a cold weather climate. If you're in a hot weather climate, I'm hating. But take care, and talk to you soon, God willing. Peace.